Well, hello friends. How you doing? We're back. We got some new friends recently. That's awesome. Thank you very much for joining. Assuming you're not bots. So if you're not a bot, feel free to give a little wave in the comments section. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but just let me know you're a real person and who we got, and I'll follow you back or whatever. Subscribe back. As you could probably tell by the thumbnail and title for this video, I messed up. I messed up pretty big, and it's salvageable. And it's keeping me from writing the volume that I want to write every day. This morning, I was in a Hannah Grace Fletcher live stream. Started at 7 a.m., went till 10. That was wonderful. But I wasn't getting the words. I was there, I was sitting, I was typing, but there was so much thinking involved that the words, they just weren't coming. And then I kept going after that stream completed, and I went into Cody and Rebecca Tobar's stream, and I lost it. After the first sprint, it was just 40 minutes or something, even midway through that, I was just holding my head in my hands going, I think I've lost everything. I don't know how to produce anymore. So I kept that stream running, but I was not a part of it. It was there. I was in spirit anyway. I was cheering people on, but I was like, how do I fix this? I need to be able to work. And I figured out what the issue was. The issue is from the last video, if you watched it, but I'll show you on a whiteboard that I don't have set up yet. Give me a second, we'll cut to another screen. Okay, so what I always do when starting off a story, even if I'm not outlining it, is I start with art. I do a very rough sketch of the setting or what vehicles might be involved or how I'm picturing where they're going to spend the majority of their time. I'll also map out the interiors of the ships so that I know, and space stations, so that I know very basically where everything is. And then I'll have them up when I need them up to refer to them. So with this book, I started off with this drawing. Then what I did is Galileo passed. I did paradise present. Okay, in case you're not familiar at all with my books. Murder mystery, police procedural, detective series in space that I'm calling sci-fi crime thrillers. They're in a new system, newly discovered within the last 50 years, which is, pretty new, spacey-wise. The previous system that they discovered was Galileo. The one before that was Tremblay, in case you're wondering. The one before that was Alpha. Anyway, so Paradise is present day in my futuristic story. It's like 2343, okay? Pretty far in the future. But for the purposes of the story, half of it takes place in Galileo, which is in the past, because Miles was there 2 years ago, working as an investigator, the investigator in charge, on with a different team, doing different stuff, different stations, different everything. And the purpose of this book is to investigate a murder mystery in the past, investigate a murder mystery in the present, and then solve the overarching theme for the first 6 books of this 30-book series that I'm writing, which was the murder of Miles's wife. So I need kind of 3 books in one, although the murder of Miles's wife happens organically throughout the writing of these 2. So the first thing I decided to outline this because it's so friggin' complicated. The first thing I did was I brain dumped everything I thought about what would happen in the past. And then I did the exact same thing with everything that would happen in the present. The 2 different murder mysteries that are still linked. And then it went on and on and on. And I had all these notes everywhere about how things had to link up. This is literally what it looked like, except with a lot smaller text. Okay, then what I did was I took my 3-act structure, which I'm not going to write out. This will take forever, but let's pretend like this is our 3-act structure. And I took all of this brain dump stuff for each one, and I moved it into the 3-act structure. So Galileo, that's not what I wanted. Text box, please. Thank you. So I rewrote the brain dumps to be more like outlines and worked them into the 3-act structure. Is there some reason why you didn't type? Thank you. That's what this is, the 3-act structure. Pretend like it is. Come on, work with me, people. And so I wrote the outline for the 2 stories. Ugh, it's so hard when your mouse barely works. Oh, whatever. I don't even... Fine. Then what I did was weave them together. Okay. Let's press that button. Hey, look at that. And that was the book 6 outline that would go back and forth, right? And then I put that stuff into Scrivener and I started typing. The issue, maybe I can bring up Scrivener and throw that in here, except I'll have to blur that bit. Can we hide that? Yes, we can. Aha. Okay, I'll try to get you in here. I know this monitor's this stuff will be kind of small, but. So then I have my 3-act structure, and then I have Paradise, which is present, Galileo, which is past, and would go past, present, past, present, past, present, past, present, past, going down where each one of them is roughly a chapter. Okay. That's how it was. Okay, so the issue with that is that every time I went to write, I would write a chapter, which would be in one of the 2 timelines, but then I would forget entirely or get confused as to what was going on in the other timeline. And the outline wasn't helping me. The one that I had written and stuck into the scene descriptor cards in Scrivener, that wasn't helping me at all. It said what kind of had to happen, but I didn't know what already had happened. It was very, very difficult to keep up. I can't keep two stories in my head at the same time, apparently. If you can, awesome. I cannot. So I was only getting 150, 200 words like per hour of writing. Not great. And I'd have to like reread a lot. It was impossible to keep a story in my head. So the solution that I came up with today's Saturday, April something, 12th, it looks like, yeah. It's Saturday. Like, I'll probably put this up later. You can watch it. The solution I came up with was to undo what I had done. So within Scrivener is unweave a word, separate out, decouple the two timelines, and have two books in Scrivener. The past first, actually, this time, where I just write it all out. But the outline still exists, so I'll still be following the outline, but I'll write out everything that happened in the past first. And they're still all divided into the scenes appropriately. Then I'll write out everything that happens in the present and the climax or, thrilling conclusion to the 6-book thematic arc. Then what I'll do is I'll interlace them or weave them, and that'll be our book. And I can always undo that if I want to at some point, if beta readers or alpha readers or critique partners or whomever find that would actually be easier to read if it was just the past first and then the present. But I think it'll be more enjoyable, the way I've actually structured the outline of it is if it's interwoven. The two stories are interwoven. So we'll do that. But the whole point of all of this, and I may have already said it, I don't know, I don't listen to myself when I speak, is that I can, doing that, now keep the whole story in my head, and I'll be able to start pumping out the words again. And I'll feel more confident in what I'm writing. Right now, I'm double thinking everything that I'm writing down. I'm like, is that even right? Like, should I reread? And I was like 13,000 words into this. Those words won't be deleted. I'll have to double check them, but they won't be deleted because it was like solid enough. But this will allow me, instead of, 600 words a day, mind you, over 6 hours. Instead of that, I can spend my 6 hours a day during the week. It's 12 or 14 hours a day on the weekends. I can hit the actual word counts that I want to hit every day and feel confident that I'm keeping the whole story in my head and putting down what is correct instead of double thinking everything. Anyway, so that's how I messed up. That's how I've decided to solve it and get out of my funk surrounding this book. I think I just started it off incorrectly. Not the words, but the approach to the writing of them. Okay? Perhaps if you have a book where you're writing it and it goes back and forth either in time or, I don't know. Well, like you're telling two stories at once, and you're finding it difficult to read, maybe pull those apart and tell the one story, tell the other, and then weave them back together. Obviously, you'd have to outline so that you know what each of the parts are, but pull it out, keep the story in your head. It's fresher, you can produce more. Or if you've done this a million times before and you happen to be watching Little Old Me's channel, tell me how you did it. I mean, I got 24 more of these things to write, and there's bound to be some things I can learn along the way from people who've written like that, the bouncing back and forth. Like I haven't read it, but I think Girl Gone or Gone Girl, one or the other. Isn't that in like a house with like two women and there's two different timelines and two, yeah. So I don't know how that author went about writing that, but it seems to happen a lot, but I don't know how they go about writing it. So that's what I had chosen originally, and now I've changed my mind, and we're yapping, and we don't need to. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers. You guys are wonderful. We'll see you next time, and we'll have another update on book 6, and I'll tell you how the rejigging of everything went, and if it helped my productivity, because right now I haven't done it. So we're hoping. Thanks very much. Bye. Giving Ian a second. Ian forgot to hit record on the screen recording. We need another 3 claps. Those are my 3 claps. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I got, places to be, things to do. Come on. Hey, if I put you in another window, you stay in the other window. You don't be effing about here. Come on. How do you get rid of the perspective grid tool? Oh, fuck. This is something else. I hope you guys are having fun watching this. Fucking bullshit. Let's Google the answer. Lane switching widget. Yeah, well, that didn't work. Shift Control I. Go to View, Perspective Grid, Hide Grid. Did I not go to View? Where the fucking hell is it? Perspective Grid. Hide Grid. Oh my god. What a nightmare that was. We have to start again. Again. Elmo wants to be Christmas again. Still recording? Still are. What are we? 5 minutes in. This is redonkulous. Thank you. Take 562. Got a headache near the end there. Tired of hearing myself. Okay.